Can you hear me?
I hear you, man. We live. We in full effect. We on the tube, partner. We pumping to the people. Free Me TV with Joseph P Langdon. We ain't playing. We bringing the truth. We bringing the real. What's up,
For
partner?
sure. You already know, man. You know, we got a serious problem right now.
Ain't no
It's a
question,
state
man.
of emergency. It's a state of an emergency. And unlike many other people, we proactive out here, right? We fighting the power. It is important that people understand their
Mm,
power. The power you exercise, the power you possess. When they say by the people, for the people, what they're saying is you are included. Your voice matters. Your concept on life matters. Your humanity matters. Your empathy matters.
mm,
And right now, what matters is the life of Harvest Peterson. This story
mm,
is so profound and that even a toddler will understand this is oppression in its fullest extent. Mr. Peterson, who was incarcerated in the 1970s, way before they had first degree, second degree, third degree manslaughter, or whatever the case may be when it comes to homicides. So these was not involved in Mr. Peterson's case. There was no intent, basically. So if you was convicted of any type of murder, you were just given life without parole.
mm.
Mr. Peterson, who was from Flint, Michigan, was in a record store with his partner. Unbeknownst to Mr. Peterson, his partner shot a woman in the store during a robbery. Mr. Peterson was convicted, as well as the man, for first degree homicide. And Mr. Peterson did not have a gun, did not even know his friend was going to shoot this woman whatsoever. So 7 years later, after being convicted of first degree murder, they changed the law. And the law was changed to this: first degree, second degree, third degree, which means you had to prove the intent. You had to prove the intent of what was going on at that particular time for them to have a real conviction. So from them 7 years up until they changed the law, everybody in between, they don't have an opportunity to go home, right? But why did they change the law? Because they know they was wrong. It's a miscarriage of justice.
Hmm.
Now I want you to envision this, comrade, because you're very intellectual, you're very reasonable and rational, and you understand what's going on when it comes to the criminal justice system.
Thank you.
Now, anybody who has a grandfather, a father, a brother, or anyone who could just envision something that's way beyond their own circumstances, right? You'll be able to understand what I'm telling you. And what I'm telling you is this: Mr. Horace Peterson has been incarcerated since the age of 20. Yes. 48 years later, you do the math. So that makes him 68 years old. He's been sitting and rotting in a prison cell for a crime he didn't commit. His grandson, which is Eric Woodyard, an ESPN journalist, which is a good comrade of mine, when he explained to me what happened to his grandfather, I immediately felt it was imperative for me to attack with pit bull ferocity, because I know and understand that there's only one way you can get things done, and that's with the people. So I'm making a public announcement. I reached out to every comrade that I know that are proactive. I shared the storyline to let them know that this is not something that they're just fighting for with no merit. And at this particular time, Eric Woodyard is willing to do anything within his capacity, outside of his capacity, or whatever has to be done to free his grandfather, who has been instrumental in his life. He's actually the reason why he's who he is right now. So me being empathetic and me knowing how this game works as far as the judicial system, me doing 22 years in there and being free, 7 months, and you doing 13 years in there, and you knowing like firsthand the miscarriage of justice. So with that being said, think about your grandfather. Think about your fathers. Think about your brothers. Think about all of these people who just sit in these cells, who don't have a platform, who don't have a challenge, and who don't have a fight. But he does. He has a platform. And we need this petition to be signed. Mm-hmm. This petition will be shared on every major platform. We have to get Horace Peterson out of prison. This is a state of emergency. I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're poor, I don't care if you're rich. What I do care about is your heart and your intent and your humanity, and you being a human, knowing and understanding that this is fucked up. This is fucked up.
Yeah, that right? Is, man.
Do you agree, Thomas Freeman?
Man, I mean, how could I not? First off, how old is Eric? Do you know offhand?
Eric is, yes. I think he's 32 or 33.
Okay, he's not 48.
He might be 34.
He's not 48 or older.
No.
Okay.
He's not even in his 40s. He's in his mid-30s. Put it like that.
So this gentleman has never met his grandfather outside of those gates.
Yes.
And yet this man is pushing to free his grandfather. There's not many men, there's not many people like that, No. That's astounding. And for somebody like me, I can just hope that I have grandchildren that want to ride for me like that. That's what we hope for, man. I'm sure Horace is a proud man,
Yes,
so,
he is.
So I do agree, man. I mean, we have to get this man home. 48 years.
Yes.
You know what I'm finding out?
It's ridiculous.
Let me say this here, right? This is what I'm finding out. Because you have Temujin Kinsu, right? Flint, Michigan. You have there's several, all from around that same time era, right? And these people are all in prison for murder. And all these people are saying that they were, set up, or that they're innocent, that they had nothing to do with the crime. And all of them are saying that it was just a rush botched trial. And what I'm finding out is coming from Michigan, man, like that's a rough spot, man. That's a rough spot, man. The corruption. No, I'm not from Michigan.
You're from Michigan?
No.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying is like from what I'm seeing is like back then I'm seeing nothing but corruption in the government, man.
As you read these files, as you went and looked the cases up, you seen what's going on. It's so crazy to me, Thomas Freeman, that this is what I find to be ridiculous, right? This is what I want people to envision, because you was adding on to it, and I just want to tap into what you were saying. You did the math. Okay, he's been locked for 48 years.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Woodyard is approximately in his mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
I asked him myself, so like, how old are you? He said, hey, he told me his mid-30s. So that means, like you say, he's never seen his grandfather in physical form outside of the prison yard. He goes sees his grandfather faithfully, though, in prison. Now, this is a man who has been inspired by his grandfather, because his grandfather was a boxer. Yeah, you don't see them pictures. I put some pictures out there for y'all to see. He had sports in his blood, right? So Eric Woodyard made it through the ranks of journalism, right? But the whole time, when you go see his documentary, you'll see the whole time his grandfather was his inspiration. Not only his inspiration. Hold on, I want the world to get. Oh no. I need to emphasize, y'all. Check this out. Not only was he Eric Woodyard's inspiration, right? But he managed from a prison cell to be the backbone of the family, yo. For 48 years, this man has managed to have his voice leave a jail cell, reach his loved ones, guide them, mold them, shape them, and move them forward to reach their goals. How important is Harvest Peterson? Harvest Peterson. 48 years is more than enough. Yeah. I know people who commit 5, 10 murders, 3 murders, 2 murders, and get out. Here is this man who commit no murder.
Mm-hmm.
And he's stuck.
And a lot of controversy behind his case, y'all. You know?
Sign the petition, y'all. We are approximately 30 to 40,000 signatures away. Actually, I was sent an email from change.org, and I was told that this is the highest growing petition in history. In history, right? Which means it's not hard to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to see what's going on. And what's going on is a man being buried alive, a man that's worth being salvageable, a man that still have people in position that's fighting for him. You know what I'm saying? Their love and their fight has been so strong that it reached me to the point where I feel like he's my grandfather.
Well, see, and that's an important point that you make, right? Because you and I are really the only ones that are talking about this. And that's what's important. And these are the messages that I'm trying to get out. Like, this isn't mainstream. We don't see this on the news. How come our news media is not reporting these travesties that has happened and how we've had these people, you know, incarcerated for there's specials. There's specials that are done during prison documentaries, but you don't see the 6 o'clock news.
Actually, you're right? You're 110% right. But I must say, based on Eric Woodyard being who he is,
that's the point.
It has reached national levels.
But this is the point.
Right? So
right? This is the point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
With this being that type of situation, what made me galvanize the people outside of just being pure inhumane and cruel and unusual punishment was that if we can use these platforms that Mr. Eric Woodyard has, that I have, that you have, and a multitude of other people that we know who are in conjunction with our ever-growing spirit of revolution and getting things done, right? Not for the likes of the hearts, but getting things done. What will happen is this. We can shed light on the people who don't have a spotlight. So sometimes you have to utilize what you have, right, to show and prove that this can happen to anyone, even an ESPN journalist grandfather, right? So you utilize those platforms and you show them that, hey, a misjustice anywhere is a misjustice everywhere, right? And then what happens is you can utilize that same platform because now you're believable. Because people can now conceive what you're telling them and say, hey, this is foul. Didn't notice what's going on in America, right? So that's how we use one door to open up 1,000. And that's what we're doing right now.
But see, again,
that's what we're doing right now.
And that's what solidifies my point, you know, is is like Eric Woodyard, you know, and of course he's a man that would have to speak to that himself. But I'm
Of
willing to
course.
bet, I'm willing to bet that his whole life has been hampered in such a way because of this stigma about prisoners, him having a grandfather in prison, especially where he's at, him being an ESPN analyst, right? He's in corporate.
Yeah.
That's corporate life. There's a lot of going on in life right now, and trust me, I'm willing to bet that he has to be very, very careful on who he talks about these things. So what I'm saying is that we have to erase this stigma, right? That we shouldn't be scared to speak about our brothers, our sisters, our grandfathers, our children that are incarcerated. Like these people need help. You know what I mean? And the more that we're scared to talk about it because people are going to have their own opinions, right? Is the more that these people are sitting in their cells for 48 years being ignored. This is how this happens. This is how
Yeah.
Temujin Kinsu sits in his cell for 35 years, innocent,
Yeah.
right?
Mumi Abu Jamal.
So
Mumi
there's
Abu
we can sit
Jamal.
here all day
Mutula
and
Shakur.
we can
So
name
many.
and name and
So
name,
many. So
you know.
many.
And this is like, when is it gonna stop? It has to stop somewhere. So as I say, I do not negotiate with terrorists. Right? This is my new mantra, man. This is my new mantra. This is what I'm saying. The government don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't negotiate with terrorists. You understand
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? So
I
therefore,
agree.
with that, the people that I'm trying to reach are my brothers and sisters, my American citizens, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to put aside all of this arguing and all this fussing. We have to stop robbing each other, killing each other, because this is what they want. In the meanwhile,
Yes. It's designed.
while we're all doing this, Horace Grant, or not Horace Grant, Horace Peterson.
You talk about the basketball.
Yeah, because
Horace
I was just watching the thing with Horace Grant, man, too. But Horace Peterson, Temujin
Chicago
Kinsu,
Bulls. Yeah.
yeah,
Horace Peterson.
all of these people are still sitting in prison while we're out here fussing about things out here that the government is creating us to fuss over. It's like, wake up,
Yeah.
man, wake up. There's
Yeah.
bigger
And
things,
it's
man.
sad. And it's sad, but guess what? Guess what? That's why you and I here. Right? We are tackling the issues that really matter, opposed to getting on YouTube and telling people how big our gun is.
Yeah.
Or how many people head we stomped in.
Yeah.
We'll get to all that because that's a part of the game too. But here we are fighting for the rights. We don't care if you're white, black, Chinese. If you're wrong, government, we're here. And we're going to fight. And I want to play this song for y'all just so y'all can know that this is serious. This is a song that was made for my mom.
Hmm.
Free Horace Peterson. I ain't just saying that, I mean it when I'm speaking it. I done did a lot of time, he served a lot more. 48 years and they still won't let him go. How you get accessory for something you ain't know? I tell you how that black being po. I was only 2 when they locked that brother up. For all the wrongly convicted, we should stand up. Gave him all that time just cause he wouldn't be a snitch. And tell on somebody they know he ain't killed a chick. But since the chick was white, you know they playing politics. I'm sorry for a family loss, but it's truth I spit. His daughter Snoop asked me could I help her shine a light. On the way they play her daddy cause it ain't right. He left when she was 3 but still raised her from the pen. And everybody scream free Horace Peterson.
We won't let them out. Hey. Free Horace Peterson, you heard?
Yeah.
Hey, when that petition get pushed out, all my street niggas, all my thugs, all my alien nations, all my gangsters, I don't give a fuck what you is. Sign that petition.
It's time to come together, man. It's time to
Sign
unite
that
for real,
petition.
man. It's time we
Sign that
start
petition.
it's time we start helping each other out.
This is what they fail to realize, Thomas Freeman. with the Bloods, the Crips, the Aryan Nation, the Gangster Disciples, the Vice Lords, and every other black movement, white movement, Hispanic movement there is on the grounds of this earth. What we fail to realize is this: we are the outlaw movement. We are the rebels. We
Mm.
are the rebels with the cause, without the cause, and any other cause you want to put in between. Which means it's us against them. But we are so blinded by the politics and the ideologies of what we represent that we don't realize that we have common enemies because the outlaw gangs, the white bikers, the Bloods, the Crips, the folks, the G, whatever, we're all in prison. We all have comrades in prison. We all want them free. We all want them on the streets. Therefore, we have to bond together like a ladder and climb to the highest mountain and fight with one fist, right? It don't matter if it's a black fist, a white fist, a red fist. We can put them all together and make it a rainbow fist. And I ain't talking about that rainbow. I'm just talking about the rainbow with anger and pain, the revolutionary angel. Nah, I'm just keeping it real. But if they want to join the fight too, they're welcome. Everybody is welcome to fight for this injustice, no matter your race, your gender,
Well,
or what's on your agenda.
it's about the American citizen, man. It's I mean, this is about our rights as an American citizen. You know, it's
For sure.
time. It's time. If you can't see that these people are slowly taking away our rights as much as they can, and if you can't see that we are giving them the ammunition to do so when we go out here and kill each other and rob each other and
Yeah.
burn each other's businesses down and do all of these things,
Yeah.
all they do is come and
Yeah.
pass laws to take our rights away and put us in prison. You see, so if you can't see that this is what's going on, then you're just asleep and you're part of the problem, you know. And this is why this man is sitting
But
in
guess
prison
what?
for 48 years.
I was about to say that. You'll be surprised
Mm-hmm.
how many people are asleep, right? But the thing is this: they wake up, they go to work, they eat, they defecate, they ejaculate, they do all these great things that life has to offer us, right? Systematic motion. That's an everyday habit that we all, in somehow, some way, have to involve ourselves in. It's just life, right? But we involve ourselves to the point that we forget what goes on around us because we're so consumed with our own lives, right? That we're not able at times to look at other people who are in worse situations than us and say, hey, damn, he's in a fucked up situation. I'm doing pretty good, right? We want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, though, Thomas Freeman, right? But the problem is this: you have to be able to bring something to the table in order for the table to be full, right? Which means we all have to contribute. When we see something fucked up, we don't take that shit. And this is fucked up. And we ain't taking that shit, right? And that's just what it is. And if they don't like what I'm saying, they gonna just have to kill me. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna stop saying it.
And that's an
And for
American.
every other comrade in there,
You see what I'm saying?
you know?
That's an American, and that's your right. You see, and that's what we're losing sight of, because there are going to be people that don't want you to say what you're saying, and they're going to try to do everything
Mm-hmm.
that they can do to stop you from saying what you're saying. And this is the egregiousness of what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
so listen, what do we got going on tomorrow, man? Let the people know.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow, as we doing it big. We doing it big. I'm
Mm.
gonna have a couple more artists out there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They their own brand, the Ace Camp. They popping. And we're gonna do a vlog on them, live. We're gonna do interviews on these guys. They coming up, they doing their thing. You know, we're gonna speak about, you know what I'm saying, the injustice. We're gonna talk about the guys in prison, the many comrades that we do know, who we know personally, who when they get out of prison, they don't have opportunities. So we're gonna show them ways to provide opportunities for them to win, to be entrepreneurs. And then ultimately, we're gonna talk about Horace Peterson. We're gonna promote the petition. This is how serious we is about this. We throwing a concert I wouldn't say it's going to be like a concert like the level of, Little Baby or Michael Jackson or anything like that, but more so just to get together people, you know what I'm saying?
Just a gathering, man, for real. Just some good times, man, for real. All in the name of Horace, man.
Love for each other, and we're showing that we can come together and celebrate life, and at the same time celebrate our comrades who are incarcerated, and show and prove that they really live through us vicariously.
No question.
So that's what it is. So I say around the evening time is going down. We will keep y'all updated.
Yep. Hit the subscribe button.
Music.
Hit the notification button. That way you'll know live, man, when it comes.
Yeah.
Hit all that stuff,
for
man.
For sure. We got Thomas Free Me TV. Tap into that. We got No Comrades Left Behind TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, share, like that. We are moving together. We are a unit. And yo, we need y'all.
Yeah, man.
See, what people fail to realize is this, and I have to say this. When you look at an ant, right? When you look at little itty bitty ants, sometimes you need a little magnifying glass to see them.
Mm-hmm.
When you were younger, maybe when you're older, whenever, when you identify this, you see this little itty bitty ant holding up a big piece of chip, a potato chip. And you think, like, yo, how did this little itty bitty ant pick up this chip? Right? It's impossible for this little itty bitty bug this big to pick up a chip that big, right? And then you say, okay, well, and then you see like 4 or 5 of them together, and they got a chicken bone in their hand. And you say, yo, how did these 5 little ants just carry this chicken bone?
Yeah.
Right? It's unbelievable, right? But the power of ants when they come together, the ant colony, when they call on each other and they form, because they know they have a mission ahead of them. They know that mission is heavy. It's heavier than just 5 of them or 6 of them or 10 of them. They need the army, they need the colony, and they can move a cow, right? And the point I'm trying to make is this. When we come together like that ant colony, because we all strong by ourselves. We all strong by ourselves. We are strong people. Human beings are one strong people, right? But when we come together like that ant colony, guess what happens?
Mm-hmm. Shit gets
We
done.
lift up anything.
Shit gets done, man.
We can lift up any motherfucking thing.
Ain't no question.
Can't nothing fuck ant colony.
Power in the
and
people,
guess what?
man.
The ant colony don't ask each other, is you the female or you the male, or you white, you black, what side of town you from? They don't give a fuck about that. Because all they know is get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we are. We're the ant colony. We the ant colony, right? And guess what? We gonna get shit done. Because we relentless. You know what I mean? So I want to salute my comrades out there. I want to salute Thomas Freeman because you believed in me and I believed in you from the day I met you, man. You's a good dude. You didn't go with nobody else's narrative. You stick to the script. You stick to what you believe in, and you're going to get greatness for that, right?
I appreciate that.
I stick to what I believed in, and I'm going to get greatness for that, right? Because guess what? Greatness come with time. But when you're telling the truth, greatness come immediately, even without the views. We feel good about ourselves, right? But we need the views, because we need the views so the message can be spreaded, right?
We need the people.
So I just want to salute y'all out there. Thomas Freeman, you a good dude, man. You my soldier, man. You a good guy, man. He put together a beautiful video for Horace Peterson, man. And I just want to thank all y'all out there who signed that petition so far. And for those who didn't sign it, please, as you can see, I don't talk about nothing but Horace Peterson, because that's been consuming my soul right now.
Well, there's no reason why you wouldn't sign it. I mean, this is an innocent man in prison, 48 years. Come on, man, for real. Why would you not sign the petition? I'm going to put the petition in the link to this here so they can just go to it and
Please
sign it.
do that, man. Do that.
If you don't, if you have a reason why, let me know in the comments. Just say, this is why I don't feel like I want to sign. Because I'm just curious as to why you wouldn't sign it, you know? I mean,
because it would be no reason why.
It's a free man. It's a free man in prison.
So tomorrow, we're gonna be on Thomas Freeman. We're gonna be in No Comrades Left Behind TV. We're gonna be on Facebook. We're gonna be on Instagram, and we're gonna do this big. And we're gonna salute Harvest Peterson. And if you haven't signed that petition by now, please go sign it. Because guess what? I look at him like he's my grandfather. So until tomorrow, Thomas Freeman, you stay strong. And Horace Peterson, we fighting for you out here. I hope you hear our voice. I hope you hear the beats of our hearts thriving and banging through the warrior system for you, man. Because we here and we ain't playing. Because you locked up, we feel like we locked up too. All right? Stay strong, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
No question. Take care, man.
Thank you, man. Peace. So all those out there, peace, man. One love.